Get lean, I kind of have a different approach to doing it than most models. So like instead of doing cocaine to get lean, I actually do crystal meth.
What?
Now, I do think that someone is to blame for the wider acceptance of doing adult content as soon as you turn 18, but I can't really pin down exactly who.
Does it trouble you that a lot of your fans are older men?
I mean, it's not, I don't really think about it that much.
A parent at Liberty Christian who wants this ad on another parent's car to stay off campus. That other parent is Michelle Klein, and what she has is an OnlyFans.
She's selling.
Well, it's definitely linked to, explicit content.
I was in college, while I was having fun, I watched people have panic attacks and drop out within the first semester because of whatever mental health problem they were experiencing, just being away from home. And I can't help but think that this type of thing is going to just become worse. Who's going to be a doctor or a lawyer if everyone loses their mind before they turn 21? You don't need me to tell you that the kids are cooked.
YouTube, what's good, family? It's MasoMoney back with another video. So they're saying that this younger generation that we're in, the new school is just completely doomed from the social media and the new era we're in. So I gotta see the full breakdown of what's going on, because this lifetime, I feel like nothing was the same. It seems like everyone's so disconnected and everyone is in a cycle of comparison, so much so that people struggle to be present. It's like, it's somebody watching this video right now who has 4 different devices going. You thinking about the future, you think about your past, but then that don't give you the time to kind of think about where you're at right now, where you're trying to go to take those next steps, because everyone's just stuck in this loop of almost overstimulation. There's too much stuff going on in this life, okay? So I made some money. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We're about to get into this stream. Jeez! Oh my God! We're about to get straight into this video. Okay. I can't believe I just tweaking.
20 to 30% of U.S. college students only have basic quantitative literacy skills. That's the ability to interpret numerical information to solve a real-world problem, aka a word problem on a math test. So over 75% of people enrolled at 2-year colleges are not able to fully understand things they read. But although you may think this is information from 2026, this actually comes from a study in 2006. 2006, and here I was listening to middle school and high school teachers complaining that the kids can't read, believing that it has something to do with brain rot and social media. But what the hell were college kids doing in 2006? Sure, social media was kind of around, and I remember being a little kid in 2006 and consuming brainless content that probably had an effect on my developing brain. But I thought, like many other people, that the rise of content from the early 2010s to now is what was making the kids have a harder time in school. But 54% of adults in 2024 were reading below a 6th grade literacy level. So that shows me that intelligence is not what changed. Instead of Gen Alpha becoming less intelligent than their parents, they've instead just become more depressed.
Tell them you're hungry. Like, I'm hungry.
And this depression has been, of course, linked to social media use, which also did the same thing to Gen Z, who make up the current college kids who also can't read. Although academically, they're not much different than the millennials. But essentially, social skills are being traded for tech skills, since Gen Alpha is about 30% less physically active than millennials were at their age. Which is crazy how fast it happened. Me and my wife were still under 25 when the COVID pandemic started.
I didn't even know. So computers are starting to become more important than your ability to read, spell, write, any of these things. Having overall tech skills is starting to have the most carryover, especially I think with AI and everything else. Bruh, like at the end of the day, what you reading for if the money not there? That's the way I be thinking. Like if all the money, if all of the lifestyle stuff, if everything of these small details is being taken care of by technology, why would you prioritize anything outside of technology and human-to-human communication? You know what I mean?
Is when, for a brief moment, the world changed before the kids even knew how it worked. And this decrease in, well, happiness goes for all of Gen Alpha. Everywhere. You know, I was trying to make a funny video until I made this horrible discovery. But deep down, we all knew it. I have never heard the words mental health so much in my entire life until Gen Z's little brothers and sisters made it to middle school. And I don't think it's the same as the people born in the 70s, 80s, and even the boomers, where the concept of mental health was kind of make-believe. Growing up as a kid in the 2000s, we were happier as a whole. because we had all the perks of the internet without things like negative comments, because it was so much harder for anybody to see any content that you posted. And yeah, there were still issues with body image, but not to the extent of today with looks maxing and teenagers and legit children being obsessed with cosmetic surgery or procedures, which I have to note was already happening in South Korea long before the rest of the world caught up. Although millennials do have to take the L for BBLs, since Gen Z wouldn't long before the rest of the world caught up. Although millennials...
What type of anteater BBL is this? What the hell they put into her? They put lard into her buns, folks. Folks, that is disgusting, bro. You could kick her shin and her whole leg on snap. Bro, can she even stretch? Bro, what type of BBL is that? I done forgot what this video... that is not it. It's definitely Dollar General surgery behind them buns. You hitting those? I know at least one of y'all is hitting those, bro. You don't gotta lie to me, bro.
who have to take the L for BBLs, since Gen Z wouldn't even know what it was if the older millennials didn't popularize it first.
Shaped like the letter P. ¿Qué es madre? Pobre señora, they had her looking like Squidward.
But my goodness, the kids are seeing guys like Clavicular, which although he admits he's not a role model and says not to do what he does, he's admitted to doing that to stay lean.
So to get lean, I kind of have a different approach to doing it than most models. So like instead of doing cocaine to get lean, I actually do crystal meth.
What? So Clavicular is the same guy who got banned from Miami. So he's the model, right? He's the guy who's obsessed with his looks and being the best possible looking person he can be. His face so straight, I don't know if he's joking. He said, usually us models do coke, but instead I'm going to do crystal. Excuse me? Do not try this at home. What the hell are you talking about?
That's why we wouldn't allow men in this skinny society.
Allegedly making himself infertile due to the things he injects into his body, and bone smashing, which is exactly what it sounds like, to essentially chisel his face. I mean, he was injecting face filler into his 17-year-old girlfriend's face, live. All essentially because he's insecure about his appearance.
Live?
Which, bro, you could have still got a pretty girlfriend without smashing your face and making yourself infertile. And all of this is just about him being able to attract women. But bro, the type of girls you hang around, Charleston White could attract them just by having money. And you're 20, bro. I was in college at 20. Girls your age are not hard to impress. A nice haircut probably would have done the job. Right. And he's of course also a bit of a racist. Please don't be like this guy.
It's really escaping.
What's wrong with this guy?
Boyfriend beating you up.
But he's a good example of this mental health crisis that we all know the world has been going through. The man permanently damaged his body to become more attractive to women. And he's just the most famous example, because many young men and women have gone through significant body modification just to feel attractive. Many things that would have been considered extreme are becoming normal. And as a result, the kids growing up don't know the difference. But whose fault is this, right? We always...
Hold on. Listen, I know we're talking about the issues of it, but whatever he did actually did work, bro.
And as a result, the kid...
Bro, this can't be real. This Photoshop, did he really do this? Because I ain't gonna lie. This is good results. No bad.
Growing up, don't know the difference. But whose fault is this, right? We always want to point the finger. But honestly, it's kind of hard to say, at least without sounding like a conspiracy theorist. I can't blame people my age from 20 to 30 because the content most people put on the internet doesn't come from any hidden agenda. It's just their reality. And that's very different from a big celebrity endorsing a certain type of behavior or mindset, because when it comes to people like that, including the Kardashian-Jenner family and even the D'Amelio family, I truly believe that what they promote is part of some agenda because, well, they're getting paid to push whatever their agency decides, essentially. And I feel like it's kind of the case with all the biggest influencers, like the top 1%. But when we're talking about some random streamer that's self-conscious about his appearance, this is not him trying to push his lifestyle on other people, for the most part, because he's just doing what he actually believes is best for him in his life, even if that means literally smashing his face in. Now, I do think that someone is to blame for the wider acceptance of doing adult content as soon as you turn 18, but I can't really pin down exactly who.
Does it trouble you that a lot of your fans are older men?
I mean, it's not, I don't really think about it that much. I don't think about it like that.
Your OnlyFans has no nudity.
I mean, no, not yet, at least.
God, she didn't even give life a chance. She's selling pussy already? Lord, she's a star, huh? At 18 years old, already a famous YouTuber. She probably making 6-7 figures selling that box while it's hot and early. That's insane. Selling yourself for the bread. That's like what selling your soul is. A lot of times people think you signed a contract with the devil. But this is a contract with the devil you did for money. Just so you know.
Shutting that door because I'm very comfortable with who I am.
Or maybe it's not a person, and it's actually a group of people or a corporation. But it's like the era of being comfortable in your own body quickly turned into something else completely. And the easier it is for people to see what you post definitely contributes to the mental health crisis. Like, imagine you're some kid in 2016 posting videos on YouTube. Unless your parents are brainstorming the content for you on a family channel and doing all the behind the scenes work, there's a very good chance that no one would have ever found your content. But then just a couple years later, TikTok happens and it's most popular with children. And not only that, but the audience of these children are children. You don't have to have any type of following to get negative comments on the internet. And as a child, your brain cannot handle it. Even most adults, like I remember this huge YouTuber named Whistling Diesel saying he has a photo album in his phone that's completely dedicated to negative comments he received. And that cannot be a healthy thing to hold on to. And not to mention the thing that we all joked about that many kids have to deal with in reality now, having an OnlyFans mom.
Lexi Thomas is a parent at Liberty Christian who wants this ad on another parent's car to stay off campus. That other parent is Michelle Klein, and what she has is an OnlyFans.
She's selling.
Well, it's definitely linked to, explicit content, adult content for sure.
Some moms complaining to Klein and the school, telling her not to use the main entrance and instead drop her kids off across the street.
So she's pulling up to school, selling her box off of her own car? Bro, what if one of your sons or daughter's friends just logged into your OnlyFans? You know how bad it would be if you went to school and your homie was able to show you your mama spreading it wide open on OF? Bro, this can't be real life we in right now, bro. I see why this younger generation is doomed. What do y'all think the next percentage of the next generation is gonna have thought mamas that's posting box online? What? Somebody OG, somebody pops out here slanging D on the Twitter page. What type of freaky shit we on nowadays, fool? That's OC, gang. That's too crazy, folks. Now we can't be doing this, man.
Hey, you just had to worry about kids at school thinking your mom was attractive. But now, some of these kids can search up their classmate's mom and find a little bit more. But the kids watching their favorite influencer get cosmetic surgery or just watching people on social media argue about things that don't even affect them, like the Super Bowl halftime show. Imagine how all of this is shaping the next generation. Half of them are going to be scared to have an opinion, and the other half are going to take a very strong stance in one direction just 100%. To prove they're not scared to have an opinion. And when I was in college, while I was having fun, I watched people have panic attacks and drop out within the first semester because of whatever mental health problem they were experiencing, just being away from home. And I can't help but think that this type of thing is going to just become worse. Who's going to be a doctor or a lawyer if everyone loses their mind before they turn 21? You don't need me to tell you that the kids are cooked, because you probably heard a million people say it by now. But man, it's starting to sound a little bit too close to reality. It's starting to actually sound true. But I'm sure it'll be fine, right? I kind of proved by looking through these studies that other people did that the kids aren't actually dumber than their older siblings or their parents. They're just sadder. And I guess that can go away eventually,
hand in hand.
Right? I don't know, man. Kind of scared for the future. But then again, I'm kind of scared of the present. And I know that some of the kids have a good head on their shoulders, so I guess we'll just have to push them and hope that they keep it together. Don't forget to ask your little brother or your little cousin how he's doing. And I don't know, encourage him to go outside, I guess.
I'm gonna check in with them. Y'all know, especially if y'all see my vlog channel, I'll be doing a lot of stuff with the kids, like sports and stuff, bro. I had like 80, 100 kids in the gym, bro. It'd be so crazy the way that they act. But it's like, man, I feel like you just got to get that experience of being around people without the phones, without all that stuff. Like, what happened to going to a cabin trip with no phones and just going to meet new people? What happened to actually just talking to a female and not having to go online and being worried about being exposed and her making a TikTok about you and all of this overly over-the-top stuff? This is exhausting. What happened to people not stalking your lifestyle? You know what I mean? Like, I think that this stuff could be damaging. I mean, I'm willing to pay the price. I understand what comes with a lot of this, but when you younger, when you coming up, when you're not in a good position, this could mess your whole mindset up. You know, I think this is a valuable video we watched together. So I made some money. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. If you don't do none of those things, though, family, just watch another video. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.